Good evening and a warm welcome to episode 12 of Wednesday Wisdom, an enlightening initiative by District 98 in our ongoing quest. Sorry, I'm just trying to let people in. Okay. In our ongoing quest to empower our members with valuable insights into the world of Toastmasters, where leaders are truly made. We bring you engaging topics that focus on enhancing communication and leadership skills. Since the last Wednesday in December, we've been captivated by the panel discussion bug, inviting members to step up as moderators for intriguing topics with panelists selected by us. Each moderator, carefully chosen by us, is provided with a mentor to guide them through the intricacies of the project. What's more, by the end of today's engaging discussion, our moderator will undergo evaluation, marking the successful completion of a Level 5 elective project. And now, with great excitement, I present to you our moderator for this fourth installment of panel discussions. She is not just a soft skills trainer by passion and profession, but also a firm believer in mentoring her audience with a blend of skills, creativity, talent, and an unwavering never give up attitude. She holds certifications from both the ICF, National Coaching Federation, and ILA, Indian Leadership Academy, as a soft skills and corporate trainer. Adding to her accolades, she's a daredevil in Toastmasters, having served as the Vice President Education for her home club not once, but twice, a role demanding yet incredibly enriching. Let's extend a hearty welcome to our moderator for today, the dynamic Toastmaster, Manita Gupta. Over to you.
My, I'm honored and delighted to be introduced by our incredible multitasker, Program Quality Director, Sunita Vinod. I appreciate your warm welcome and support. Just as told by PQD Sunita Vinod, Toastmasters is an organization that provides a platform for individuals to develop their communication and leadership skills. It is a journey that is unique to each individual, isn't it? The path one takes depends on their personal goals and aspirations. Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 12 of Wednesday Wisdom, which happens to be a panel discussion on the topic Path to Take Leadership or Communication, or Leadership and Communication. To kill a curiosity, we have a distinguished panel of experts who will share their views and experiences on this topic. We will definitely explore the benefits of developing communication and leadership skills and how they complement each other. Oh, that's not just enough. I'll surely walk you through the challenges the panelists have faced while pursuing these paths and also how did they overcome it. The secrets will be revealed. As a moderator, my role is to ensure that the discussion is informative, engaging, and respectful. I would also encourage the audience to actively participate by asking questions and sharing your thoughts. So park your anxieties towards the end of the discussion and stay tuned. Today, I have remarkable Toastmaster Rita as the timer and versatile Vijeta as the Zoom master. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to introduce our panelist. She is an emotional intelligence coach and a life coach. During her decade-long journey in media industry, she worked with Times of India, Viacom 18, and Z Network. A Toastmaster since September 2020. She was International Speech Contest District Finalist in D91 2021-22. She is Evaluation Speech Contest Division Champion in D125 this year and a utility ambassador. She has delivered speeches at clubs in World Bank and NASDAQ. She was on the Fox Story list of India's 100 under 40 in 2022. She was awarded an honorary doctorate in meditation practice by the World Peace Institute of United Nations. Ugh, I'm breathless, but her achievements will not end. So, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for glorious personality, distinguished Toastmaster Gayatri Deshmukh. Welcome, glorious Gayatri. You're looking amazing.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
Most welcome. Now, let's call out for someone else. He is a procurement professional with almost 30 years of experience, currently working in Blue Dot Express as vice president. He joined Toastmasters around 8 years ago, and since then, he has served in various ExCom roles at the club level, and apart from that, serving as area director, division director, program quality director. He was awarded for excellence in program quality by Toastmasters International in 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, time to give a huge round of applause for visionary personality, distinguished Toastmaster Vinay Srivastava. Welcome, visionary Vinay. Good evening.
Good evening, Ayush. How are you all doing? Hello, Gayatri. Hello, Manita. Hello,
Hello,
Sunita,
Vinay.
everybody.
It is just incredible to have you two and me sharing an platform with these dynamic personalities. So, dear panelists, I will start with a core question, that is the why. Because a why has the clarity, the what and how will find their way, right? All
Absolutely.
right. So, just as a warm up, I have a rapid fire round for you. 3 questions, each having an option. The point is, you need to choose one and you have to be quick. So, the one who answers first gets a privilege, and that I'll tell you later. So, are you ready to go?
Yes.
Okay, then. So, glorious Gayatri and visionary Vinay, let's have you. The first one, a leader in the field or a speaker on the stage?
Speaker on the stage.
Both.
Gayatri gets it. Communication is complementary to leadership, or leadership is complementary to communication?
Both.
Communication is complementary to leadership.
I would have given it to Vinay, but you're supposed to select one. All right. Okay, thanks for the answer. Last, lead with purpose or communicate with impact?
Communicate with impact.
Wow. We have some close discussions, and thank you so very much for leading me to my very first why. The privilege here, because Glorious Gayatri gets it. So the privilege would be that you will get to answer first. Now, why communicate with impact?
I was 17 when I started my journey as a writer with Times of India. No qualification, no degree in hand, barely 12th pass. The only thing that got me inside the door was my communication skills. I have a sister. She just returned from an abusive marriage 3 years ago. When she returned from her abusive marriage, we were all like, what to do? And she felt like her life was over because she just had a graduation degree. But today she's already making a 6-figure salary every month because of her communication skills only. I have seen people making difference, not just in their lives, but also in lives around them because they could communicate, which made an impact. Maybe I'm biased here because I come from media industry communication field. But I have experienced this, that if there is one thing that is going for me, then it is communication. In Marathi, there is a saying, बोलणाऱ्याची माती विकली जाते, न बोलणाऱ्याचं सोनंही विकलं जात नाही. Meaning the person who speaks can even sell sand, and a person who cannot speak with impact will not even sell gold. That is what I feel communicating with impact.
Wow, that is beautiful. I mean, I'll take it for life. So, ladies and gentlemen, there is a takeaway that you get in from the very first one. Have to have art of speaking. Let's move to a visionary Vinay. And this time, let me ask you to please acknowledge us with why lead with purpose.
So, you must have heard of a saying, you can take a horse to the pond, but you cannot make him drink water. So, leading the horse, convincing him to the pond is one aspect, but making him drink water is difficult. And why does this horse not drink water? Because you are probably not able to communicate to him. You are not able to tell him that he has come here for drinking water. Now, what is this horse? Who is this horse in our life? H, home, everybody at home. O, office. R, relatives. S, spouse. E, everybody else. So this horse, home, office, relative, spouse, everybody else, you have to communicate. You have to tell them very clearly so that they drink water. Leading is one aspect. You can lead them to the pond, but they will not drink water unless and until things are communicated properly. So for me, as in the first and second rapid fire, I said both. It cannot be, a leader has to be a visionary communicator. And as Ralph Smedley said, the well-balanced, intelligent speaker is a natural leader in any surroundings, any group that he is in. So drinking water, making drink water is all about communication.
Wow, that was said really beautifully. So I believe our audience have taken which horse are you going to lead today? I would love to be a leader at home, in office, among the relatives. Obviously, everyone would love to lead with a spouse. And yes, leading is important. It is important everywhere. That's the reason Toastmasters offers leadership roles. Thank you for giving it to us, Vinay. Let's proceed. So I have something interesting here for you. Now, what are some of the benefits of choosing either leadership or communication skills in Toastmasters journey? I need to be specific here about Toastmasters journey so that once we understand this, we can then move to the outside world. So let's begin with Toastmasters. Let me give it to Gayatri first.
It is very difficult to choose between communication and leadership when it comes to Toastmasters journey. I joined Toastmasters in September 2020. Pathways were already introduced. However, I have heard a lot about the Competent Communicators Manual, Competent Leadership Manual. What I understood about those manuals was this. The first step is to be able to communicate. Next step is to be able to lead. And the final step is to be able to lead with impactful communication. If there is one thing that I have always observed within the Toastmasters journey, then it is this. People are judgmental as much as we say that we provide a supportive and positive environment. The moment you become a leader and you go up on stage, nobody is that supportive. They are supportive so far as you are a member. But the moment you go up on stage as a leader, they don't want to see someone slouching. They don't want to see someone underconfident. They want to see someone they can look up to. In my personal experience and opinion, First step has to be communication, wherein you are able to effectively communicate, tell your point of view, give your message. Next step would be leadership, because once you can communicate with people, you can establish a rapport, you can establish that relationship. Once that relationship is established, then you can lead. I don't think you can lead without being able to communicate with your fellow Toastmasters. So communication is the first step, then will be leadership. And then maybe if you can blend both, nothing like it.
Well, I would echo the same with you because I too believe if you know how to communicate, you will take your leadership to some level. And as far as you've said that leaders have to be looked upon like you can't slouch and all, so we would always like to follow someone, who is a leader to us. So I believe leaders have to be well groomed and all. All right. So let's move ahead with Vishnari Vinay. What is your take on this question?
So I feel this is all about a journey from me to we. And when I say me to we, when you are in a communication track, when you start your communication, it is all about me, me, me. Whatever you wish to communicate, the story that you want to communicate, you want to tell everybody. So it is all about me. And when you become kind of confident enough that, yes, you are good and you are ready to lead, it is all about we. So that M gets reversed and it becomes we. And then it is all about team. As I always say, for me, DTM is dream, team, and a mentor. So there's a dream which I carry as a leader, and I have my team. Without that team, I cannot do anything. And I'm mentoring that team. I'm facilitator there. And that is how I create replicas of Vinay.
You know what? I used to believe that I'm good at making these forms out of those shortcuts. And I am already honored to be here and learn too, the course, DTM. Wow. So this is going really well. And I love the me to we part. Ladies and gentlemen, this is all about leadership. So when you're a leader, it is not about me alone. It is about we. That's how leaders are formed. When we see the bigger picture, when we see all around us, and we have to take them along. A leader finds their growth when your mentees or when people who are working with you have their growth. So this is what is the best compliment for a leader. So let's take you ahead for this. My next question, which I would ask Vinay to answer first this time. What are some of the difficulties that you have faced as a leader in Toastmasters? And don't leave this alone. Please let us know how have you overcome this?
So as a leader, the biggest thing that I think I have faced is people tend to work in groups, and I'll not say groupism, but there is a kind of comfort factor which they develop, and it becomes very difficult for any new Toastmaster, any new leader, any new person to break inside. So we have to break these silos, we have to break these groups and make sure that there's a very transparent and open atmosphere where we can, where we can be more communicative. And the only way to break these silos is communicating. The only way to make sure that you are trying to bring everybody in the picture, you are trying to take their opinion, you break these silos by constantly being in touch with them. I have been to places where I'm not expected, which means that there are groups and there are people who don't expect me to be there, but still I went there, because for me, groups do not matter. For me, if there's a purpose, if I need to do something, If there's anybody who can do it, he may like me, may not like me, whatever, I'll still go to him and make sure that my work is done. So personally, I would not say if I face too much of these problems, but yes, my approach has been go directly, meet that person, break the silo. That's it.
So basically, you're trying to say, talk it out. Like
Talk
everything
it out.
can talked about. And again, we need communication for that.
Yeah.
Just as you put it up in very refined words, right? It's like comfort factors. Thank you. So let me now pass the platform to Gayatri Deshmukh.
In my personal opinion, I have found myself in the situation wherein there are groups. I found myself in a situation wherein I was expecting the ring to get the seat at the table. I never wanted the seat at the table. I was more of a I will have my own table kind of a person. What happens to people like us in leadership is this. There is a system that is following. We enter the system and we end up disturbing the whole system. The moment you refuse to kiss the ring of the person who has set the table, it's going to be difficult for you. The DTM in my DTM stands for distinguished troublemaker for that person whose ring I refused to kiss. And I don't know how I feel about it today when I look back at it. I don't know if there is anything I could have done differently. But whenever I feel that if there is something I could have done differently, I just feel I should have caused more trouble. There was a scope there. There was an opportunity there. I'm unapologetic about that because you may have your group, but guess what? I'm not kissing the ring to be a part of that group because I think I have it in me to have my own group. It all comes down to this. There are some leaders who work in shadows, and then there are some leaders who have faces. I like to believe myself to be the leader who works in shadow. There will have to be a Chanakya, there will have to be a Chandragupta Maurya. I don't fancy myself as Chandragupta. I don't want to be at the table. I would rather be someone who is working behind the scenes to get a table set for a new leader. For me, whatever groups you have, all the best, be happy. Don't expect me to kiss the ring. But when I have my group and you want to join my group, it will be on my terms, not on anybody else's.
All right, then. So I see a leader speaking. Just as I first felt that you were more towards the communication side, take the step of communication. But when you say, that you wanted to have your own seat, so that is the leadership quality. Unless and until you have that leader in you, you cannot take that bold step. Am I saying it correctly?
Maybe somewhere deep inside, leader working in the shadows.
Yes, I certainly know it won't be easy to make you agree to me, but by the end of the discussion, I will succeed. All right, so let's take you further on this. My next question, since you are here, Gayatri, let it be you who's answering it first. How do you apply your learnings of leadership and communication skills in your personal and professional life outside Toastmasters?
You remember I told you that I refused to kiss the ring, and then I was the distinguished troublemaker. That experience actually helped me earn money. And this is how it helped me earn money. During my leadership journey in Toastmasters International in district leadership, there was a bully and I wasn't willing to get bullied. So I don't know, maybe that person thought that I was in turn bullying. Whatever the scenario was, my observation skills helped me understand exactly why someone would behave in that manner. In turn, my leadership coaching clients, when they found themselves in that particular situation wherein they had a reporting manager or reporting manager's manager who was causing trouble because there wasn't enough for the lack of good work buttering up from their side, performance not being appreciated, just yes, people being promoted. In that particular scenario, I was able to guide them, identify whether the person you are interacting with is a bully. If that person is a bully and if that person is breaking rules without fear, that means there is a vulnerability. Identify that vulnerability. After identifying that vulnerability, find out what is the way in your system wherein you can address it. Giving up is not an option. The idea is to be able to identify the vulnerabilities of the people who are causing disturbances, causing hindrances, and causing hurdles in our leadership journey, not in Toastmasters, but in real corporate world. When Toastmasters International changed from district governors to district directors, it basically, instead of approaching it from the government perspective, leadership was started being approached from a corporate perspective. Whatever politics that we see in Toastmasters district leadership, it's more or less what we see in corporate. This particular experience definitely helps you deal better with your corporate politics because you have learned how far people will go at what they want. You know how often people are willing to lie to get things done. You experience how alliances change quickly. Most importantly, we realize that every human being has a price, and that price may not be money always. It sometimes is a relationship, it sometimes is a position, it sometimes is even freedom, autonomy to do something. Everybody has a price. Identifying that price is important. Mentoring. During the Toastmasters experience, I got to experience the difference between mentoring, coaching, and teaching. And later I was paid 25,000 by a company to explain to their employees what is the difference between mentoring, coaching, and teaching. And I think I was happy about it. Toast learnings can be directly implemented in your real life, provided you're observing it in right sense. Often people say, oh, it's Toastmasters. You have made Toastmasters your life. Toastmasters is a coaching institute. You're making it your life because it's a management studies. It's a crash course on management studies wherein you learn people management, you learn leadership management, and you also learn how to manage your emotions, anger, expectations, and most importantly, impulsive natures. Identifying people is the most important thing in Toastmasters because there are so many new people we meet. And that is what I take away from Toastmasters, and that is what I am able to give my coaching clients in turn. And so far it has worked. Every individual leader I have interacted with in Toastmasters, there is someone like that in every corporate office. Every
So
corporate
basically, what you are trying to say is like, it's actually Toastmasters who's preparing us for these life skills. We are in
absolutely.
Toastmasters, and that's why Toastmasters has become so close, like everything that we are learning in Toastmasters, we're taking it in the outside world. And honestly speaking, we are doing wonders. Just as you got to know the difference and you had a lavish amount getting in you, I mean, being earned by you. Obviously, if you don't know the difference between the three, we go around with the same pay. And once we know the difference, that's what matters. Thank you, Gayatri. Let's hear it from Vinay this time.
Uh, I'm a procurement professional. So throughout my 30 years of my career, I say I know buying. I know how to buy. That's it. And buying is a skill. People will not agree to this because what happens is that when you are a small kid, uh, the first thing that you are given is your parents give you some money, go and buy, some small items from a nearby kirana shop. And then as you grow up, then you start buying costlier things. When they consider you uh, sensible enough, they ask you to go and buy medicines and all. So everybody feels that they can buy. They are a buyer. Whatever profession they are in marketing, they are in customer service or whatever, and they are buyer. But for me, buying is more of an influencing. How do I influence the other party? How do I influence my vendors, my landlords in getting to a win-win situation? What I take away from Toastmasters is, first of all, I learned a lot in terms of listening skills, very patiently listening not only through my ears, through my mind, through my eyes, listening to the body language. Whatever theater that I had done in my earlier days when I was younger, I felt that all that body language, all these things came into fore when I was dealing with my vendors. Then leading a team which was spread across the country, in each and every state, including there are some who are direct reporting, some who are indirect reporting. How to manage them, how to give them the feedback, in which they take it in a positive spirit and I'm able to do that work. All those things were some takeaways from my side. Very interestingly, I did a project in Toastmaster on podcasting, and it was supposed to be a project in which I will do 10 episodes, 1 hour of content, that's it, and forget about it. But I started enjoying it. And today, some 50 odd episodes, I have done second season. It's all about day-to-day storytelling, day-to-day stories. So it's Wincast, winning stories, whatever I see in my day-to-day life. Winning dialogues, and that's another blog that I have started. So it's Win Dia blog, not a dialogue, but Win Dia blog. And it is all about success and failure of my profession. I have honestly only good things to take away from Toastmasters.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Honestly, it's lovely, when we have so much of learnings at a platform and we can actually incorporate these learnings in our personal life, professional life, outside Toastmasters. And this is an inspiration. How you had taken up your podcast series, like it was beautiful. I have got an opportunity to watch a few. Uh, okay, then moving to the next, since I have you, distinguished Toastmaster Vinay, on the platform, so let me give you this question. What is the difference in taking up leadership roles in Toastmasters and as a profession in the outside world? The only difference that you felt.
No, not only, it's a biggest difference. And as I was answering in my last question, influence. It's a beautiful book. If you have read, how do you influence any person? And influence is a key skill when we are talking about negotiation. How do I influence a person? The only difference in Toastmasters and a professional journey is that I can influence people who are working under me because their performance appraisal depends on me. Their daily working is dependent on me. Their leaves dependent on me. So there are many ways to make sure that my work is done. But here in Toastmasters, we are all talking about servant leadership. And what we learn here is influencing people. We are not paying them anything. They are not getting paid. I'm not getting paid. Nobody is earning a paisa out of it. And still, I am making my team work. I am making sure that each and every person, if I'm a division director, that all my area directors, if I'm a president, then all my excom or whatever, I'm influencing them. So for me, the biggest differentiator is ability to get work done out of those people, just out of, you can say, pure influence, charisma, word, whatever it is, but that is how I get the work done.
That is true leadership. And I believe a very tough leadership. Honestly, we don't have to pay anyone anything, yet we have to get the work done. And that is what, it is leadership and it is communication. Like how beautifully we can put it into words, we can get our work done by them. And we're all doing it for our leaders. All
So
right
there's a
then.
beautiful, just to add one thing, there's a beautiful book by Daniel Pink. So we have all heard of theory of uh, motivation from Maslow hierarchy theory, where we go on from the basic needs to the actualization. This theory of Daniel Pink talks about intrinsic motivation. What is it that drives people to do things without money? So he talks about action, purpose, mastery, and how we are doing certain things without getting paid for it. And that's the drive and the force behind Toastmasters.
That is the reason, in Toastmasters, when we are entering, we look into pathways. First is the purpose. We need to understand. And only if we understand our purpose, we take actions on this, and we are doing wonderful things. So now for Gayatri, what is the difference you noticed in your journey from being the district finalist in speech contest to becoming an area director?
Until the time that I was not an area director or not in district leadership at all, I would get at least 3 requests every week. Hey, would you do a speech in our club? You are a wonderful speaker. It will inspire our members. Oh, I would enjoy the opportunity. Thank you so much. Even in the middle of night at 2 a.m., I have done a speech. Then I became area director. Suddenly, every week I would get 5 requests. Would you please be a general evaluator at our club? So in the initial 1 month, I was like, okay, fine, it's just a role. Then I realized that the posters would be released. Oh, she's the general evaluator. And I was like, oh, so this is the thing. Because I'm a, they look at me as an evaluator, looking at me as a speaker. I did not like that even a bit. There came a point where I told everybody it's my New Year resolution. I'm not going to take up the role of general evaluator. I took up the role of our counter. And the VP education goes like this. You are a distinguished Toastmaster. How can we ask you for our counter? I was like, the whole idea of being a distinguished Toastmaster is to be able to do every role in a distinguished manner and to be able to tell how effectively every role can be done. I personally find myself more inspired from a couple of people within Toastmasters. Today, there was one panel discussion in my club as well. One of the panelists was past international president, distinguished Toastmaster, accredited speaker, 2 times world champion of public speaking finalist, and once he was 2nd place winner. Distinguished Toastmaster, Dilip Abhay Sekharam. I look at the profile and I'm like, yes, that's the kind of profile I would want. Then there was past international president, world champion of public speaking finalist, and accredited speaker, distinguished Toastmaster Jana Banhill. And I was like, that is the profile I want. It has to have a progression. It has to have that weight. So one thing that I realized is that once people go in the roles of leadership, they stop doing speeches. I have a question for every person in this room who have been an area director. How many speeches did you do as an area director as opposed to when you were a member? I have a question for every member in this room who is in some or other district leadership position for consecutively 3 years, not counting the training sessions that you have conducted. Pure speeches, 5 to 7 minute speeches. How many have you done? I don't want the answers because I know the number would be very embarrassing. Because I know what my numbers were. I know what numbers my friends had when they were in district leadership. Biggest difference is at the moment people get in leadership, they stop doing their speeches, and that is a bad thing.
So there, I believe, I guess that, they're already loaded with a lot of responsibilities as a leader. And then there is a way, they say leaders give you a way to be leaders. Maybe that's the reason they're preparing the others to come up and give more speeches, gain more confidence. It could be maybe one side of the leaders why they're not taking. But certainly the glorious Gayatri is leaving you with a thought, ladies and gentlemen. So give it a thought and start giving speeches. We all want to hear them. All right, then, let me take you to the further question, and this would be the last for both of you, and then I have one liner. So, how can Toastmasters display creativity while taking up leadership roles? Now, how can you make these leadership roles creative? Vinay?
Okay. So what happened is that one thing which has happened is that since I've joined Toastmaster, the day one, there's never been a day when I have not been in a leadership position, either at the club level or at the district level since 2016. Before I gave my icebreaker, I was the secretary of the club. And I still remember when the elections were happening, and I was a new member. I had just attended 2 meetings, and my president asked me to nominate myself. Ron, he was sitting here. So Ron said that only members are allowed to take ExCom roles. So nobody knew that I am I am a member, and that is where I started my secretary role. And at that point of time, I was vice president, leading a team of 50 to 60 people. The only thing that I did with my pen was sign. Apart from that, nothing, even reports and all. And the beauty was that I started creating agendas. I started creating minutes of the meeting. And that was my first brush with the creativity, because I wanted to make things very interesting. I tried to use rather all my skills. So I made agendas with mind maps and videos, all those kind of things. Then as VPPR again, I used to push messages daily for, right from taking up roles, participating in a contest and all. I did not have any experience in that. If you say that I was a graphic designer or I was good in Canvas, nothing like that. It was just ideas. It was just that these roles helped me in being creative. And this went right up to the level of being a program quality director. That some different things, something how creative we can be, and each person is different, and each person does these things with a different perspective. The biggest
You're so true.
example
You're
of
so true.
being creative, I think, is today we are sitting in this Wednesday Wisdom, a program curated by Sunita. And it's a beautiful example of all of us coming together and discussing a topic every week. That's my take on it.
So, Vinay, you have stolen my words. I wanted to take the credit. All right, exactly. I wanted to put it up. This is called creativity. We want to discuss over a topic. Let's have a panel discussion. And why not Wednesday Wisdom? Let me ask Gayatri, what is your way of displaying creativity?
I love the role of VP education because I get to do whatever I feel like. When I was VP education, my president let me do whatever I want. Now that I am president of the club, I do whatever I want. During my 3.5 years of Toastmasters journey, here is what kind of creativity I managed. I was a part of this club from Canada. We had members from about 14 countries, and world champion of public speaking, second place winner, Linda Marie Miller, often got feedback, "Oh, you're so intense." And she said, "I want to be funny." So when a world champion level person is funny, what do? They bring 3 humorous speech champions from 3 different districts, different parts of the world. And suddenly, someone who has had the longest running Broadway show and has also been interviewed by Oprah Winfrey comes to a Toastmasters panel discussion, which ended up being my DTM project. And that was the closest I got to Oprah Winfrey. That is what creativity means to me, to be able to communicate with people like that. After this year in itself, I have managed to, God has been so graceful. I got to interview all the top 3 of this year's World Championship, Jocelyn, Nisha, and Mariam. And fingers crossed, I think soon there will be an opportunity to interview Kiran Bedi as well on the Toastmasters platform. Point is, creativity for me is to bring to the table that is beyond imagination, larger than life. It is a Toastmasters meeting, but it has to be a Yash Chopra and Karan Johar kind of a setup. It has to be kind of a show that everybody enjoys. For me, that is creativity. Every meeting is a show. Every meeting has to have a story. Every meeting needs to have a trailer, and every meeting has to be larger than life. I'm a little,
Wow.
but yeah, that's for me.
So that's lights, camera, action. Okay.
Camera,
So, and
action.
that is creativity. So you can bring in that picture in every scenario. All right. Let me take you now further to the very last one. We are running short of time. And that's the reason I have framed it in this manner. So now this is going to be one-liner from each one of you. And let it be a takeaway for the audience. How can one measure his or her growth or progress in leadership and communication? Just one-liner. Gayatri?
These are the lines from one of the poems I wrote, completely in a nutshell, what leadership and communication journey means to me.
One-liner. Sure.
Embracing the darkness, here I walk. Now embarrassed sun is following divine. Go tell the world, I am doing just fine.
I'm doing just fine. Thank you, Gayatri. That was beautiful. We have a takeaway. Let me hear it from Vinay.
So as a leader, when I feel successful, if I'm doing nothing, my team is taking care of everything, and that is
Wow.
that is my simple take. I've empowered, I've delegated. I'm there behind the scenes. They are in the front. They are getting credit, and that's my takeaway for the leadership. When it comes to communication, I think if after today's session, if all those who are present here, if they have just one takeaway, I think I've succeeded in my communication.
Not just one takeaway, I believe we have a lot to take away. And yes, this was awesome. If my team is left to do what they have to, I have led my way very rightly. All right, then. Thank you. Thank you so very much for this. And ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for you to engage. So here we are. All the anxieties, all the questions that are mingling in your mind, you are all here to shoot them. I'm sure our panelists are all ready to answer. So, ladies and gentlemen, firstly, it is going to be awesome if we can have you on camera. Some lovely faces hiding behind. Thank you. Please show yourselves up. Wow, we've got Jyoti, Bhargav. Amazing. See people actually respond. Shweta, thank you for being up there. So now let's hear to some of the questions. So, all right, if I put it up, all the leaders tomorrow, kindly show yourselves up. All those who believe in their communication skills, show yourselves up. Wow, we have a program quality director, Sunita. All right, so questions? Here I have a question from Gaurav, and he would like to ask how to utilize the Toastmaster platform in most efficient manner to become best at communication. Now, who would like to take this?
So Toastmasters, as we say, is a self-learning platform, self-paced learning platform, and there's nothing like most efficient way. Each person who comes in Toastmasters, who joins Toastmasters, has some different learning objectives. They come with something very, very specific. And as leaders, as mentors, as fellow Toastmasters, it is our duty to facilitate that thing that they are looking in for. Utilizing in a most efficient manner, I think if you go to Toastmasters site, you will get abundant of videos, articles, so many things you can read. There are so many things which you can do to upgrade your skills. So as earlier Toastmasters, traditional Toastmaster, we have done CCCL, then ACBs and all those ACG. Now we have 11 different paths, and how we can use all these paths for different requirements, different skills that we want to hone. It totally depends upon that individual.
So, Gaurav, I'm sure you've got your answer. So, basically, when I was saying that there are pathways, and this is us, who have to come forward and participate. This is most important because if we just sit behind the curtains, they'll roll down, nothing is going to happen. We have to show ourselves up. So, I believe Venkat Sai is raising his hand. Yes, Venkat, can we have your question?
Yes. First of all, thank you so much for having the session, DTM Vinay and Gayatri. So my question is very simple. As a leader, we take many roles like president, VPM, VPE, and sometimes I personally feel to accept the failure. I don't like being Toastmasters in 3 years. I don't get to inculcate the habit of acceptance whenever I get any fail or pass in the Toastmaster journey. How do we inculcate the acceptance skill or acceptance habit in our Toastmaster journey, being in a Toastmaster journey, or else in the forward also future?
Okay, shall I take that question?
Yes, please, Gayatri.
First step towards acceptance is self-awareness. Unless you are aware, you won't be able to accept. For nearly 6 months, I was told, Gayatri, you are monotonous. In my head, I had a lot of voice modulation. Somehow people could not hear it. So it's people's fault, not my fault. There was a lady, distinguished Toastmaster Gerda Felix. She said to me, darling, you're a wonderful speaker. Why don't you do this? Close your eyes and listen to your speech. I was like, yeah, I'm a wonderful speaker. I closed my eyes and I was listening to my speech. Pathetic. Terrible. I could not listen to myself for more than 2 minutes. But still, somehow, I wasn't able to get where I needed to. Then came in Linda Marie Miller. She literally imitated me to tell me what I was doing wrong, and then I realized it. I did 5 speeches shouting at the highest pitch to identify my highest pitch. I did 4 speeches at the lowest pitch to identify my lowest pitch. And then finally, I came down to this, okay, this is my normal pitch. From here, I can go up, I can go lower than this without having my volume affected. It takes a lot of hard work depending on what area you are working on. Awareness will always be the first step towards acceptance. And get a mentor who will not coddle you. Get a mentor who, regardless of how much you are crying, is going to tell you there is still scope to do better. No sandwich method can work in mentoring. Get a mentor who is going to remove the bread and give you the literal salad and the tikki to eat.
Thank you, Gayatri. I'm sure Venkat has got his answer right away. We have Shweta, who has asked you a question. How do we balance between club role and completion of pathway? Vinay, can you take this, please?
How do we balance a club role and
And completion of pathways.
So basically, club XCOM and communication journey. This is what you want to say? Between club XCOM role and communication
Yes.
journey?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So the biggest problem, like Gayatri was saying, that just think of it when you are a district leader or a club leader. How many speeches have you given? What happens is that, sorry for saying this, we take Toastmasters too seriously, being perfect. Toastmaster becomes life for some people, जिंदगी में और कुछ बचा ही नहीं उसके अलावा, that kind of feeling that I get from them. For me, I joined Toastmasters to have fun, to enjoy. Yes, at some point of time, leadership sucked me. But if you are building your speeches from your leadership journey itself, your speech ideas, your speech topics come from your leadership journey, whatever you are hearing, whatever problems that you are facing, those small little ideas, I think it can be blended beautifully. It can be blended to incorporate all those small things in your club journey. There's a conflict, there's some member who is not responding, people not taking roles, people not coming to the meetings. Uh, I have seen people talking and giving speeches about all these things, about everything. Uh, you should incorporate all these things. So don't try too hard. Don't push yourself. Don't take it too seriously. Just enjoy, have fun. And that is how you will be able to complete.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vinay. Thank you, Shweta, for the question. So, ladies and gentlemen, keeping it crisp because we are running short of time. So, here I am with the summarizing. The panelists, Glorious Gayatri and Visionary Vinay, they have both agreed on leadership and communication skills are important skills to develop. And yes, they complement each other. They have also emphasized on effective communication, that this is a key component to good leadership. And the leaders must be able to communicate with their visions and their goals clearly to their team, as said by Vinay. The panelists also had discussed on the importance of active listening, the empathy, emotional intelligence, and effective communication and leadership. Both had suggested that Toastmasters is a great platform to develop both leadership and communication skills. Now, this is what provides a supportive environment for individuals to practice and improve their skills. Just said by Vinay, I do nothing. My team does it all. And just said by Gayatri, I'm just doing fine. All right, the panelists have shared their personal experiences and insights on how they have developed their own leaderships and communication skills over the time. This was just incredible, and I'm honored that I was here. So I express my sincere gratitude to our panelists, Dr. Gayatri Deshmukh and Vinay Srivastava, for enriching us with their experiences and insightful feedbacks. Ladies and gentlemen, on this International Mentoring Day, let me take this opportunity to thank my mentor, distinguished Toastmaster Arvind Nair, for his invaluable guidance throughout the project. Thank you. And I feel blessed to be evaluated for my role as the moderator today. And for this, I now hand over the platform to a super powered Sunita Vinod to kindly introduce the evaluator for today.
Thank you, Anita. We will now move on to the evaluation section. He will be timed as per the timing guidelines set for a regular evaluation of 3 minutes. He will be shown a green card at 2 minutes, yellow at 2:30, and red at 3 with 30 seconds grace to wrap up. Our evaluator for today is the founder of Training Influence, personality development coach, and learning and development consultant with around 2 decades of experience. He has been a passionate Toastmaster for the past 7 years, winning many accolades, including 2 district championship in District 98. Please help me welcome distinguished Toastmaster Avinash Singh. Over to you, Avinash.
Thank you, Madam PQD, Toastmaster Sunita. What a panel discussion. It was so enriching. Leadership or communication? Flip the coin. But one thing which I was thinking when it started was, what kind of adjective will marvelous Manita use for me? Will it be astounding, Avinash? Will it be awesome, Avinash? And that was something which led me to be focused on this whole panel discussion. Great credibility building in the beginning by the moderator. She did a fantastic job trying to introduce both the panelists, and it helped us to listen to both these distinguished Toastmasters, and they actually told us what we need to focus on, both communication and leadership. And then I also saw the transitions. It was smooth from one point to the other. But the jelly on the cake was that I felt that the rapid fire in the beginning set the tone. Everyone was there looking forward to what's next, what's coming next. And that is something is a great sign for a moderator. Kudos to Marvelous Manita. You did a fantastic job. And I'm sure each and every person who has attended, from around 47 participants we still have 41 remaining to hear till the end. And that's a great thing. What can be improved in this already great panel discussion? In Toastmasters, we have time. And time is something, if you work on, will help you and will help each and everyone. Time management is something which was a little bit missing with respect to switching quickly from one panelist to other, or switching from the panelist questions or your own moderator questions to audience questions. And that is something which can be improved upon. I have one more area of improvement, that is, when you are a moderator, you had fantastic diction. And the way you said develop, I said, oh, she knows English language. But when you talk about conversation, it needed to have more freedom with respect to how you speak, make people comfortable. At times, it felt that it was question, answer, summary, question, answer, summary. So that is something can be improved when you be a little bit more conversational style, in your speaking, so that you speak to people and make them comfortable. So that is one thing which, if you can improve on that, that will be fantastic, because then people will see the discussion in totality. All in all, it was a fantastic way to go through the moderation and just work on the time management and a little conversation style. And I am sure you will lead discussions and in your own fabulous communication style. Thank you. And over to you, Toastmaster Sunita.
Thank you. Awesome, Avinash. If she didn't give you that adjective, I will. Thank you, everyone, for spending your valuable time with us this evening. A big thank you to our panelists, Distinguished Toastmaster Vinay and Distinguished Toastmaster Gayatri, and Manita for taking up this role. Wednesday Wisdom is just getting better and bigger and better and bigger and better and bigger. And the whole team of District 98 would like to take that, the appreciation, what we're getting from everyone here. So thank you once again. Hope we are leaving you more informed about communication and leadership in the Toastmaster journey. If you want to view the previous panel discussions, do visit District 98 website. We will soon upload this one as well. And don't forget to come and network at Eloquence. Early bird registration ends at 31st Jan. Thank you and good night.
And Sunita, Vinod, I would also like to take the platform here because I have not thanked my astonished Avinash. Thank you for evaluating me. The evaluation, as usual, was astonishing, just like you always. Thank you to the role players, Toastmaster Rita and Toastmaster Vijeta. And I am honored to have this beautiful set of audience. Thank you for being here. So just like Sunita, Vinod has already wind up, and I would also now like to sign off with a thought. If communication is the key to human connection, then leadership is the opportunity of making a difference in the lives of others. So sleep with this thought. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Good night.